Hi friends. Yesterday we thought about the pathways of intellect and relationships to knowing and experiencing God. Although these pathways are very different, they work nicely together. Let me give you an example from the 8th chapter of Acts, in the encounter between Philip and the Ethiopian eunuch. What we would call the Secretary of the Treasury of Ethiopia had come to Jerusalem to worship, and he was now on his way home in his carriage reading from the prophet Isaiah. The Ethiopian official was the intellectual type. We know that he was highly educated because he was able to read. And not only able to read, but also he was doing so in a second language, probably the Greek translation of the prophet Isaiah. He was diligently reading and studying the scripture to better understand who God is and what God is about. In the meantime, God's Spirit had nudged Philip to go to the road upon which the Ethiopian was traveling and to run up alongside the chariot. Philip gets close enough to hear this man reading from the scriptures, and he asks the question, "Do you understand what you are reading?" The Ethiopian replied, "How can I, unless someone guides me?" And he invited Philip to get into his carriage and sit beside him. This wealthy, well-educated government official acknowledges that he does not know everything, and he invites another person to help him. He initiates a faith-forming relationship. The Ethiopian knew that if he were going to grow in his knowledge of Scripture and deepen his relationship with God, he needed a friend to help. So Philip, starting with the scriptures from Isaiah, proclaimed to the Ethiopian the good news about Jesus. And as the Ethiopian used his intellect in the context of his relationship with Philip, his eyes and his heart were opened. And God spoke through the Ethiopian's mind and through his relationship with Philip. And as a result, the Ethiopian put his faith in Jesus and was baptized. And that's not the end of the story. Both Philip and the Ethiopian went on to tell others about Jesus, who told others, who told others, who told others. The scripture tells us that Philip found himself at Azotus, and he was passing through the region. He proclaimed the good news to all the towns until he came to Caesarea. We don't hear about the Ethiopian again in the scriptures, but the 2nd century church father Irenaeus refers to the Ethiopian as a missionary to his people. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church, which today has about 45 million members, claims its beginning from this person whom Philip met on that desert road. Just as God empowered Philip and the Ethiopian to spread the message of God's love and forgiveness, and therefore to change the world even to this day, so God empowers each one of us to impact our little corner of the world by sharing in word and attitude and deed the good news of Jesus, one person at a time. Thanks for listening. I'll see you again tomorrow.